What you'll need: Prismacolor pencils, a pencil sharpener and eraser, and tan-toned or white paper. Step 1. Sketch. Okay, so we're going to start by making the basic shape of the head. It's just an oval and it's kind of tilted to the side because she's looking down. And then for the body, it's just a long, kind of a half oval, I guess. It's a really weird shape because it kind of bends in the middle where her stomach goes. And this is where one of her shoulders are going to go. Just a rough estimate right now. And we're going to draw a sight line right where the shell bra goes and finish off the other elbow and start to draw in the arm. You really just want to do a rough estimate of the placement of everything, and then you can go back and look at what needs to be fixed and what's not in proportion to each other. Now we're going to start to draw in where the jawline is. I'm just going to start to finish up the arm over here. You'll see me jump around a lot. When I draw, I don't draw one figure. I always go from place to place. I don't know, it's really weird. But this is where the shell bra is going to go, and I just marked off an area so I can draw it in later. And I'm just defining some of the features in her face, like the cheekbone. And you really want to make a sight line and see if the cheekbone is in line with the rest of the body. Now it's time to draw Ariel's hair, and she has a really distinct look, and it has that big swoop of hair. I don't even know what you call it, but it's like a side bang, but not really a bang, I don't know. And I cut it out, but I'm sorry. So I just drew that in there. And I'm just going to add small detailing on where the hair touches the forehead and the sides of the head. Now I'm just adding more sight lines to the center of the face where she's looking down and where the eyes are going to go. And I'm going back to the hair. So I'm just giving her a large mass of hair. And we're going to go into it with a little bit of detail. I'm going to do that to the other side as well. Now we're just going into a little more detail with the shell bra and the arm. I don't know about you, but the face is the least favorite part of doing drawing. It's just so hard to get right, and I'm sure everyone has the same problem because the proportions are just a mess. So I drew 3 sight lines for the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So I'm just going to sketch in the nose and part of the eye. And then we're going to place the eyebrows along with the other eye on that same sight line. For the lips, all you really have to do is draw a straight line on that sight line, and you're just going to draw a little lip for the bottom, and then an even little lip for the top. Now I'm just going into everything with a little more detail. And then erase any excess lines. Now it's time for coloring, so I'm going to erase any harsh outlines that I drew because I don't want the color pencil to bleed through. Step 2, color. Now we're just going to go around the figure where the pencil was with a darker skin tone color. And we're using that same color to do the shading around the forehead and the left side of the body because the light source is coming in from the right. So the whole left side of the body is going to be just a little bit darker. When you do shading, you start with the hardest, pressing the hardest on the outside, and then you go lighter and lighter and lighter until it blends in with the face, kind of almost like you can't even see it. And on top of that, I'm adding the lighter skin tone color. Now I'm just going to start coloring the facial features, and I used a light brown for the eyebrows and the nose. For the eyes, I go in the corners in my darkest blue, and then I start to shade in with a little bit lighter blue, and in the center, a little lighter blue. And then I just go over it with the white to make it really shine. And for the shell bra, I use the same shading technique with the darkest colors on the corners and the lighter colors going in. Alright, now it's time for everyone's favorite part, the hair. This is going to be a long time, so please excuse all the time lapse. So I'm going to start outlining the hair with a dark red, but if you don't have a dark red, a brown would do just fine. So we're going to shade dark red around the whole outside figure of Ariel because that's where the shadows are. Now we're just going to start sectioning off the hair into parts so we can get the effect of flowing hair. Now what you do is you shade the tops and the bottoms, so it's like tip to tip on each section that you do, and that creates sort of the shadow of it going underneath the hair. I don't know, that's what I learned on my own and it looks pretty decent. So you can continue to section off the hair as much as you want and keep shading the corners of each section that you do. And on top of that, you're going to add your next darker red and start shading that down, but not all the way down. Just to the center where it gets a little bit lighter and lighter, like we did with the eyes in the shell bra. And if you have another lighter red, you can also shade that in. And you're just going to shade in each center section with the white, and this is going to give it that amazing shine effect. And I'm just adding small lines to really create that hair effect. In that area where it kind of rolls over her head, it's going to be a bit darker. And we're just going to do that same effect for the rest of the hair. And I decided to outline her skin in light brown because I just didn't feel like it popped enough. And then we're just going to section off the other side as well. And I'm going to go in the creases with a black, just a little bit, to make it stand out a little more. And that's it. I hope you found this video useful, and if you drew Ariel, make sure to send it to me so you can be featured in my next video. Thank you to everyone who sent me their pooh drawings from my last tutorial.